Hello and welcome to today's video. You join me for Super League Season 6 EU Division 1C Match Day 3. It is between my Lizardman, which if you've been watching the previous videos in this run, you will know what the team looks like with that. And I am playing versus HRNSUP's Heinous Hickey's vampire team. So back for another vampire team. If you haven't seen the match day 2, please go back and watch that, as that was quite staggering game there. So really exciting. So yeah, so let's have a quick look at the teams. So my team, as it always will be in this NAF League Euro Bowl rule set for Hungary's Euro Bowl: 4 block, 2 guard Saurus, Chameleon Skink, 3 ordinary Skinks, only 11 players, 2 rerolls, and an Apothecary with the Croc score rounding out there. And the vampires over here, they have a leader thrower, a dodge thrower, a dodge runner, another dodge runner, a strip ball blitzer, and a frenzy blitzer, with thralls making up the rest of it. So let us get into the game. So the vampire team opt to kick and set themselves up. So as we saw from the previous match day, you can't really defend against vampires. It's incredibly difficult to defend against vampires. The bonus that we will gain, hopefully, from receiving them choosing to kick, is that we might be able to get some removals. Removals are really one of the ways that you can deal with the vampire team. They have 3 rerolls plus the leader, so plenty of options to reroll some bloodlusts and stuff. I've set up unbalanced the Crocsagore on one side, but the 2 guard Saurus on the other. So this is entirely deliberate to set up slightly unbalanced, with strength 5 over there, but 2 strength 4 guard over here. So on the ball, and brilliant coaching, and we gain the reroll. Fantastic. So not only great for us to get to up to 3 rerolls, but also great to deny the vampires another reroll. Unfortunately, we fail the catch. So we'll take these blocks on the LOS. Immediate double skulls, but we can re-roll it. If we don't get the free re-roll, then we would not be re-rolling that one. We would eat that instead and be under a load of pressure. Pow on the dodge thrower. Use that to support there. This could have happened sooner, I think. There's only this bit here. The rest I'm not so worried about. We do get the ball. Go and put a Saurus down as a friend, just so if the ball does get blitzed, we have something that can do a hit back. So a bit of pressure coming in, but not too much. Blitzing one of the non-block Saurus, makes sense. Frenzy hit here, does get the POW. Choosing to activate vampires. Sometimes players decide not to activate their vampires. Bloodlust here, and just lets it go as wild animal, hidden behind the screen there. So sensible play there. So we'll take our free hits. We do get an armor break there. We'll blitz the thrall. Again, just looking to see if we can chip away at some of the thralls first of all at the beginning of the match. Looks like we're setting ourselves up for a Avenger bus here. Obviously there are multiple routes through, so even with a skink here you can just hypnogaze this guy here, hence why the skink's coming in. Saurus goes stupid, unfortunately. And there we go. So a bit of a wide kind of a Vingabus with wings almost, isn't it? Does get to gaze the skink, then blitzes the skink, does roll the bloodlust. Now the blitz obviously turns off the dodge skill, and then dodges out, feeds on this guy who remains stunned. One D here on the Croxagore, just to mean that there's not the hit back on the vampire. Decides to base up there at the end. Fails the bloodlust and just lets that one go again. So we'll take our free hit here, keeping people pinned. Croxagore decides to move in. I really wanted to be quite aggressive. Also means I can blitz a vampire. Only a push though, unfortunately. But that is fine. So yeah, I think we're looking at a shift over this way. So dodging out with this skink first. Get ourselves out the way, because then... Okay, so I don't actually move over there. So instead I just weaken this side here, encouraging the hit on the ball. Okay. I guess with where this thrall is, I guess that's the problem bit. We can't really easily cage around that thrall. We're just setting up for next turn. Does get the knockdown and the KO. Ball is free. So not great here for us. Bloodlust reroll, leader reroll used there. Gets the ball, gets the dodge out. And then removes themselves with a vampire. So huge failure to remove a vampire there. We do have the double rush GFI here. We failed the second rush, but we get the push backs, hence why we go for it. 2D with the guard here. We get the block. And the ball scatter is not a disaster, but it's still in a tackle zone. So not ideal. Pow on the Frenzy Vampire. Into another KO. And out of nowhere, the 6 vampire team has suddenly dropped to 4 vampires. And things are looking a lot better. Even with the ball on the floor, things are looking a lot better all of a sudden. And we get the pickup. So we get the pickup. We are based with the leader vampire, but at least there is now they have to knock us over for the ball to hit the floor. 2 vampire removals in exchange for a chameleon skink. Any day of the week I'm taking that. So yeah, incredibly lucky with those removals there. Failing a dodge, pretty savage away from the prehensile tail, and then a KO. Whoa, like, yeah, that is a KO from a guard Saurus block is, yeah, that's pretty great. So let's see how the rest of the half turns out. So instant bloodlust with a reroll, ending up in a stun. Gazing there to get the 2D on the skink for free. Just a push, doesn't put the reroll in. And chooses to blitz gaze a different skink. And that's the turn. So I think here we're looking to immediate removal there. So now 2 players up into a blitz on the leader. Just a push, that's fine. Because we can now get over here, I think is the play. Try and get ourselves over here. Yeah. Run away over here. Run away from these 2 vampires here. This one's obviously still a concern. But seriously injuring another vampire. Down to 3 vampires. So at this point in time, the 6 vampires dropping to 3. The team is just becoming weaker every moment. Obviously, it's not over. This strip baller can go through for still with a 2D because of strength 4. But here the strip ball, not in a bad spot for them. At least the tail's on it to 2 tackle zones. Makes the dodge. And goes for a handoff play, which works. And then tries the 4-3 out. So very, very ambitious there from the vampire. So let's just think back to that turn. So strip ball play, perfect. Comes in here. Vampire comes here. I guess could have just stood here, right? And just risk being blitzed rather than trying the handoff play. I'm not quite sure why my opponent here wanted to do that. I guess it's because if he makes it, then this is the blitz. Because there's nothing else that can really tie it up. This is the blitz, or I can't remember if this guy stood or not, or this is the blitz if you tag the other one. So something's blitzing the ball, but I guess the recovery is then a nightmare. So maybe playing for some high odds out, but here it does feel a bit like now you've based up your team against me, and we should be okay here. But losing 3 vampires is just devastating for the team. So all the rerolls gone as well. So we've got 1 reroll. So here we can blitz. I did contemplate seeing about whether we could pin in for a surf, but I decided against it. And a massive stun there on the vampire. It's not the strip ball that's huge about that. It's the fact that it is a vampire, meaning that then the hypno gaze is out the window for next turn from that particular vampire. So obviously this vampire here could come and do some shenanigans in terms of hypno gazing. Walking through, and fails the rush. So this gives us a pretty straightforward run through here. We can get some screening. Obviously this vampire is still a concern, and this one here, but now we could be eyeing up surfing. Yeah, I didn't like blocking this guy because obviously then that just opens that channel up there. This enables a pin in here. Here's the blitz, and then we just need the croc to go to behave. So we choose to rely on the crocs for the high value play. The crocs does do it, and it is just into the reserves. So only 2 vampires left on the pitch. So goes for a crazy play into another KO. Now we still have 1 reroll, so we are eyeing up to see if we can get some 3Ds here. So just a push. Bring this guy in. Yeah, leaves that channel clear, doesn't it? Yeah. To get another one up there. Good. So we're just looking to see if we can get some removals. This guy comes in up here to make it a 3D with block. We won't take the hit with the Croxagore, obviously, if we don't get this guy down. And then we can bang it in, and there we go, 1-0. The ball sacked multiple times, but we've managed to get ourselves the touchdown. Now, 1 vampire out permanently. The other, the thrower here with dodge, the strengthful thrower with dodge, also out. And sweltering heat. So not amazing for us. Lizards do suffer with the sweltering heat. We are full 11. We do suffer with sweltering heat, and it's a bloodlust already on the 1 turn, but does get the push with the Juggernaut, and gets another push. Yeah, so yeah, lizards do suffer with the sweltering heat, because of how crucial the Saurus are. So gets a push, and then just needs the 1D here. Gets a push. Very nice. And now the pass action. And failed to declare the pass. So they're really sad to see. You wouldn't see it in tabletop. You know, obviously you can be highly competitive. I had it recently in a tabletop league game. An opponent of mine said, an opponent of mine went for a play, but didn't declare the pass action, and the play was 4 dodges, multiple dodges, four dodges, and a pickup in tackle zones, and then said after doing all of that, oh, and I'm going to pass. And I said, okay, look, if you'd done 1 dodge or just the pickup and then said you were going to pass, I'd be happy to do that. I said, however, you've done multiple dodges to get to that point, and then you didn't declare the pass. So, you know, and he immediately said, oh, no, you're absolutely right. He actually said, I only thought about passing after I'd picked the ball up. And I was like, okay, that's fine then. So he left, he just stood there holding the ball. But here in this occasion, I think I would 100% if my opponent didn't declare the pass on the 1 turn, of course I would say, yeah, you know, you rolled the pickup, of course you were going to pass the ball. Like, but obviously on FUMMBBL, you've got the you have to declare it. You have to declare the action. So yeah. So unfortunately, we won't know whether the vampires would have made the 1 turn or not. But now let's look at the situation with Sweltering Heat. So we've lost a Guard Saurus and our Chameleon Skink again to the Sweltering Heat. So that does put us on 9. But we have lost a guard. So luckily it wasn't 2 Saurus. But the vampires lose their leader vampire. And a thrall, so they will be on 10, but they are down the leader, which is probably the same kind of impact, I'd say, as our players that have being missing. So yeah, it feels like quite a balanced second half coming up with the Sweltering Heat now. So kickoff is nice weather. So if we do get a quick score from the vampires, we will be back on with our full complement of players. So our relative players will be coming back. Important for the vampires because that means they will gain a reroll. They've only got 3 rerolls at the moment. And as we say that, they do roll the Bloodlust. And they are biting and removing a thrall. So 9 all on the pitch on their own turn. 9 all. Suddenly the numbers have levelled. Thrall moves in front of the ball, so the vampire, if there is the Bloodlust, can still pick the ball up. A lot of running forward here. And just some screening. And a foul action on a Saurus. I do like, you know, as a lizard coach, I don't like to see fouls coming in on my players, but as a vampire coach here, I think that's absolutely what you need to be doing. Looking to try and achieve those, get ahead somehow in the match. Stun here. We build our Saurus wall. Get another knockdown on a vampire. A huge stun there. So that side of the pitch looking a lot weaker now, especially as we bring in this this block vampire, and then we can provide a bit of support there. I guess some pressure here, and this one, yeah, I like that. Good. Okay, so even though this side is the weaker side, deciding to go for the blitz here rather than having to tackle the Croxigore feels like we've got a good amount of pressure now on the vampire team. The 2D there, and immediately I started looking at could we get a chain push here to hit the ball. So let's just talk through what I mean by that. Well, obviously this Saurus here, if we can somehow get a hit here, this Saurus, we can chain push this Saurus into this square, meaning that we get a hit on the ball without needing to blitz. The other option is, I guess, is to maybe target this vampire instead, and just swarm everyone in. But I'd really like seeing if we can find a solution to get the. Okay, so we tag there. We double tag. And we get the push that we want. And instead we found a different route, so we've pushed this guy in here. So we couldn't find a route there, but instead we get the push here, which means that we now get a 2D on the ball. We get the knockdown into a stun, into a catch on the skink. This guy can come round to just offer some sort of support here. So it's a pretty straightforward hit on the ball though. Yeah, ball in hand, pretty lucky catch there. But great to see the chain push option there. So this is the gaze to free up the strip baller. Absolutely the correct play here from the vampires. Into here, 2 dice. Gets the knockdown. Ball scatters out. Needs to reroll the dodge. And fails the dodge. A huge snake. Absolutely catastrophic snake for the vampire team here. Not had the luck, not had the rub of the green on the on those dodges there, yeah, falls over onto the ball. Not what you want to see if you're the vampires. So we just get our Croxagore involved in things. Yeah, tagging 3 players, pretty nice. Means we can then take some blocks, chain push that guy out. Push back on that same thrall with a. Is this a blitz? Yeah, blitz in here so we can cover as well. Nice. Can free up another Saurus there as well with that play. Free up the guard Saurus. Get ourselves down here with a screen. Go for attrition here. Nice. We get the removal reward. Go again. And another removal, and just like that. Vampires with only 7 players on the pitch, and only 3 vampires as the other vampire. 1 vampire KO'd, 1 vampire here, and 1 vampire out through sweltering heat. So blitz occurring, gets the POW on the ball, but obviously has bloodlusted. So ends the turn there. So we can get round and deal with this. Obviously the ball is not where the vampires want it. And at this point here, you know, if we did have to score, we could just score at any point we want. If we can get the ball, we can just bang it in. We don't have to stall. But if we can stall, then that will certainly help us in the long term. So here's the POW. Beautiful stuff. Pick up. We put the reroll in because it's just so good. We end our move there. So we're not running the risk of snakes here. We're just sending players through. There are some dodges through here that could happen with the vampires, but this is very much going in the favour of the lizards. Hypnogaze here into another removal. Down to 6 players on the pitch for the vampires. Fails the gaze, and then tries the dodging through here. Makes it all. Rush. And fails the second rush. Absolutely heartbreaking for the vampires. So we eye up our options. We can, of course, bang it in, but we can also stall here if we want to. So we look to protect against that. Blitzing here, we can pin both vampires in. Might even drop a foul. We'll see what happens with this. We get the push. Stay where we are. Yeah, nice. And then this guy can just run back out the way over here. Maybe that's a bit close there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rush. Yeah, okay, that's why I've done that, to make that dodge harder. Okay, good. Get the both down here, and then this means the Croxagore could move. Croxagore failing to move though. So Blitz coming in on the ball over here. Fails the dodge immediately. And that's going to be all she wrote, really, isn't it? That's with only a couple of turns and a few players here, it's looking like the vampires won't be able to tackle this. That stun basically seals it off. Let's target the thralls over here. Get this job finished. And yeah, it's going to be a fantastic win here for the Lizards versus Vampires. One of the matches I was most concerned about, in fact the two matches I was most concerned about, were the Vampire matches. So to come out of the two Vampire games with a win and a draw is really, really astonishing. So we just ended turns here and banged it in. So as it stands right now, my Lizard team are on 2 wins, 1 draw and no losses. However, with 4 more games to go, there is an entirely possible outcome where I end the season 2-1-4. Super League is not easy, and a good start is just that. It's just a good start. It's all about how you finish the league as you enter into the second half. So no easy matches, but to be 2-1-0 after 3 is nearly as good as you can hope. So all that remains for me to be said is, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button, and yeah, you can join me next week for match day 4. So thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and bye now.